I don't know. I had an ADHD take. I don't know what to call it. It's the questions that I have that answers. It's the questions that I have answers. I had that answer. About a member sent me a question about what it was like, because I talk about my ADHD a lot. What's it like? And you give us an example of what it's like to have an ADHD idiosyncratic take on a experience. So I just did one about this sentence right here, which it wasn't closed captioned. It wasn't on it, so I didn't see it. But I was listening to 5 minutes of this video with my eyes closed, my head back on my chair, just relax and listen to the dude talk. It's on pause right now. And when he got to this sentence, I heard it not the way it is worded because of my ADHD. And it was hilarious. And the way I heard it, it doesn't make a lot of sense. It kind of starts to lose its way pretty quick, but you somehow can hold on with some logic. I made it work to where this sentence doesn't say, as an analogy to, a gradual buildup of the way change happens. It doesn't start big, but it's a lot of little things start to add up to it. Think of it like drops of water wearing away stone over time. Eventually you carve canyons with that erosion effect. Well, what if the analogy instead decided to be, think of it like drops of water wearing away stone over time. Wouldn't that be also pretty incredible? Drops of water don't even have necks. How could they wear around their neck? It's a necklace, a Weighstone necklace. Yeah, these drops of water are wearing a Weighstone necklace over time. Over time, that Weighstone, it's called a Weighstone because it's a heavy stone necklace. And it weighs their necks down over time, right? Imagine those water drops wearing those necklaces. How much endurance they must have to wear that necklace for so long over time. I don't know why that's so special, that analogy. And I know it makes sense though, right? No, it doesn't really make sense like that. That's not what he meant. What are you talking about? What did he mean? So think of it like drops of water eroding away stone over time. Eroding. They're not wearing a necklace or eroding one. There's no necklace here. There's no Weighstone necklace. Wearing away, like chipping away, eroding away stone over time. It's like, oh yeah, right. That makes sense. That makes so much sense. It makes more sense. Man, my analogy didn't make any sense. Not really. I thought it was going to make sense though, right? Didn't it sound? It sounds like, imagine if you can't read those words and you heard it. I don't want a copyright strike if I make this video. So, but you heard it like he says, think of it like drops of water, pause, doing what? Wearing. Not just boots and a raincoat, but a Weighstone. Wearing a Weighstone. Where are they wearing that Weighstone? What is a Weighstone? Never mind. It's a necklace. A Weighstone necklace around their necks. Water drops didn't even have human body parts before, but these ones have necks, and they wear necklaces called Weighstone necklaces. It never says necklace in this sentence, and that's a heavy necklace that they got to wear over time. How much time do you think they could wear it for? I'm talking, this is like, could you imagine wearing a 35-pound necklace around your neck? How long could you wear that? How much over time? How much could you wear that? Not over time. Probably not. You don't have that kind of neck strength. These water drops do. That's why we respect them. That's why they make this analogy in respect to them and like a homage to them, honoring them. The sacrifices these water drops had to make, those heavy, heavy necklaces that they had to wear. My goodness, yeah. So think of it like that before you start, thinking how easy it is to make a change in your life. It takes time. It takes them water drops. How long could they wear those necklaces? I don't know, but they're heroes for doing it. You got to commit to it. You got to commit to the change and have faith. That change will happen. It takes time, But eventually, over time, wearing that Weighstone over time is evidence of change or something. I'm not sure. The analogy doesn't really, a lot of my analogies work because I don't take them to their logical conclusion. That's the only way my analogies kind of really work. They got to be kind of broken off, and that's why I interrupt myself in them. I'm like halfway to making one, and it's not that I don't know that it's not going to make it. I guess I feel it that I'm not going to make it. It's like Evel Knievel coming across to that cliff, and he's riding as fast. He's like, I'm not going to make that, and he starts barreling off. Like the words are out my mouth before, and I'll cut it off. It'll just stop. I won't have any more momentum of truth behind the analogy. It doesn't make any sense, and that's how I get away with a lot of my analogies. They're kind of like the half-analogies that are bound to failure, but are never even taken to any kind of logical conclusion because there is none. That's how I make them. So I'm totally used to hearing a sentence like that and making that work for me. Think of it like drops of water wearing a Weighstone necklace over time. Yeah, okay, I could think about that. You don't think I could think about that? I thought of it. I could think about that. Yeah, that doesn't make any sense. No, but I could think about it like it does for a minute anyway. Sure, I just chalk it away to I just don't understand what he was saying. That's a me problem, but it's not it's not the me problem you thought it was. It's not that I misread that sentence. No, I said I'm just not smart enough to figure out how he made that analogy work. I'm sure he did. He wouldn't have made it. I mean, I do got some discretion though. I am smarter than I was. I'm not as gullible, but I'm sure it's a thing, and it's just me not getting it. I get the overall gist. It's not a self-esteem dummy situation here, but yeah, I work with those assumptions. Like, yeah, he just made a half an. I mean, I'm always making half analogies that don't always make sense. That's half of what I do is make half analogies. The other half of what I do is just make absurd ones. The genius ones that do are full analogies that go to a logical extent. They can certainly extend for a logical amount of time anyway. Like those ones, the ones that actually aren't just half analogies, but my full analogy. When I make a full one, it's an analogy. Usually I don't make a full one, but when I do, they hit hard. They're whole new ways of thinking about things. That's my genius. When I can come up with a full analogy out of these lips from nowhere. That's like imagine the analogy I could have made if I could have made that one into a whole analogy. Yeah, you never heard of the drops of water clan that have the necks? They grow necks when they drop out of the clouds. And some of those guys, as a personal challenge to their own bravery and courage, grab necklaces of Weighstones. You know how heavy a Weighstone is? Really heavy. They know it's going to drag them to the bottom. But these hero raindrops, they know they got to do it. I'm not sure why they got to do it. That's part of the analogy that's not fully extended. But they're heroes. They're going to the bottom of that lake, or ocean even. Depends on where that rain's dropping. Or they're going to hit that ground real hard. It's a sacrifice they're making, these drops, with those necks. Wearing those Weighstone necklaces. All the way to the bottom they go. That means they're hardcore committed. That's what that means. That's why they're heroes. They're doing it for their country. These water drops, the ones that grow the necks, not all water drops have necks, but the ones that do, some of those, it's like they got a point to prove or something, because they're going to go get that Weighstone, that very heavy necklace, that Weighstone necklace. Very heavy, and they're going to wear it around their necks. Not every water drop that grows a neck wears a Weighstone necklace. No, these are just the hero ones. They sacrifice themselves. They're going all the way to the bottom. There's much more pressure down there. It hurts. Can't breathe. It's a sacrifice, but they do what they have to do for humanity and physics. I don't know why they're these heroes exactly. This isn't my analogy. It's about a 3/4 one. I don't know. It seemed like it could make sense. I know the water drops are doing some work here. And I know he's trying to talk about like heavy work, changes some heavy work. So yeah, that analogy, the way I read it or heard it, worked for me. I get the point. I see now that I was wrong completely about it, and that this analogy, his analogy is much more correcter and makes more sense, but it's also boringer. I've heard that analogy a million times, the erosion one. I'm not even sure if it's proper. Come to think of it, he's talking about the erosion one, which is probably why I jumped this way. So he's not talking about the water, like change doesn't happen like water drops. Change isn't in erosion. Is it? An erosion of all that's false around you? That's not the analogy he's making. He's not trying to make that. I think he's making a false analogy. Like change it builds up over time like an avalanche. Not like a water drop building up erosion over time. It doesn't build you're talking about a stalagmite? Talking about a stalagmite and a stalactite, like all the calcium will build up over time? That's what change analogy is? No, that doesn't make sense. No, my way. See, there was a reason why my absurd mind, just like, he can't be talking about erosion. That analogy doesn't make sense here. But he's talking about the erosion analogy. He must be, and my mind just starts creating a story. Oh, drops of water that grow necks, and some of those neck growing water drops, they go out and grab the heaviest thing they can put around that neck, which it turns out is a Weighstone. Sure, I've heard of Weighstones. The heavy stones, they weigh a lot. They make necklaces out of them, these water drops, and they wear them around their necks as a sacrifice for humanity. In this analogy, I guess. I don't know how it works. These water drops are doing something special, though, just like change does. It doesn't make sense. I get it. It was a wrong analogy. It's my ADHD idiosyncrasies. And I made a video called Questions That I Have That Answers, where I answered a member who asked me for an example of one such thing, which I just re-exampled it for you. Anyway, yeah, so let me end this. And, yeah. What was I possibly thinking? I don't know what my analogy was, but I was thinking of something different than that. It was wearing a Weighstone over time. Why would it wear a weight? Why would these water drops be wearing a Weighstone over time? What even is a Weighstone? Where could they get it? How could water drops wear a Weighstone? Why would they wear it? What does that even mean? Exactly. That's more fun though, isn't it? That's why it's fun to be ADHD, when you have things like that happen. A fantastical life of whimsy, the imagination, can be. Depends on how you capture it or how you let it affect your day-to-day life. Does it make you merrier in your life? Are you a merry old soul? I hope so. Makes me funnier. I have funnier self-experience. I like that part of it. And sure, I think I can articulate funny stories about it. We'll see if this video turns into something like that. It's not away. Like go away. Go away. Go away, stone. Over time, you go away. I'll stick my water drops on you. That's what I thought. It's not. A stone doesn't have a fear of water. A stone doesn't run away. You don't threaten stone with water. It's not the relationship, but it's a metaphor. You could say, go away, stone. Go away. We're going to wear you away. We're going to wear you out. That's what we're going to do. These drops wear you out. There's nothing special about them. They're just water drops. They're not acid water drop or acid rain. Just regular water drops. We're going to wear you out there. There's a lot of them over time. We'll see who wins. That's what the Grand Canyon said. Look who won that. Well, the water did. The Grand Canyon didn't used to exist before that, I guess. It's more like flat. That water wore away that stone and weared it away.